We are hearing from the office of the French President Emmanuel Macron, who says he's studying the results of the legislative elections and will await the final structuring of the new National Assembly before taking any necessary decisions. We should have that tomorrow morning. His office says the President will ensure that the sovereign choice of the French people is respected. The results are nothing less than shocking, a complete turnaround, an apparent rebuke of the far right in favour of the far left. The New Popular Front, a left-wing coalition, is now projected to win more votes than any other bloc in the second round of parliamentary elections. President Emmanuel Macron's centrist alliance projected to finish second, followed by the far-right National Rally Party. It's shocking because of what happened in the first round of elections last weekend, when it was a completely different picture. The far-right party got the most votes, followed by the left-wing bloc. Macron slumped to third. It's important to note Mr. Macron will remain president. He said he'll serve out the remainder of his term, which expires in 2027. Let's head to our team in the field. Melissa Bell is at the election event here in Paris with the far-right party. Let's first go to Jim Bitterman outside the office of the Prime Minister, Gabriel Attal, another young Prime Minister. We were expecting to have another one announced, weren't we? Because the leader of the right is only 28 years old. But it does seem as though Macron is slightly strengthened, the far left is very strengthened. So who is going to take the Prime Minister's office if this plays out as we expect?
That is a really good question, Max. The fact is that no one knows at this turning. We're assuming we're going to hear from the Prime Minister, current Prime Minister, Gabriel Attal, 34 years old, by the way, in the next few minutes here. And we're assuming that he's going to say he's going to stay in this office, as you might like if you were here. I mean, this is a pretty nice place to operate out of. Having said that, there's going to be challenges to that. The far left is going to say, well, wait a second, we had the most seats in the parliament, even though we don't have an absolute majority. They had to have 289 seats in order to have the absolute majority. They're far from that. The far right was far from it, and so was Macron's centrist. So it's a kind of thing that's where the parliament's divided. The Prime Minister can be named by the President, but that doesn't mean he can stay in power very long, because there'll be challenges coming from the parliament that basically have a challenge to his authority at the first turning. Every time as soon as he tries to do something, there will be a challenge to that in the parliament. So, and there also could be challenges in the streets. That's one of the things we kind of are hearing rumors about already, that there might be some demonstrations against the guy that's sitting here, Gabriel Attal, if he tries to stay in power, when in fact others had more votes this evening and got more seats in the parliament. Max?
Okay, Jim, thank you. Let's go to Melissa. She was there when we had the leader of the far right speaking. He looked pretty dejected, as you'd expect, but maybe in the light of day, he's going to be pretty pleased with this result, because every election they're getting more seats, and now they're, a key opposition party.
That's right, and I think it's important to consider, even as we take into account, Max, the disappointment that tonight is given what they had been hoping, which was to govern, to remember that they still have the biggest number of seats in Parliament than they've ever had before. So you're right, there is this inexorable continuation of the growth of the far right as a political force in France, and as Jordan Bardella said tonight, the main force of opposition to Emmanuel Macron. They intend to continue building on that with, again, an even bigger presence in Parliament than they had before. And yet, you can understand why so much of the champagne here tonight is likely to remain corked. And that is because they had hoped that their time had actually come to govern. When you consider those results from the first round, and indeed, Max, the results from the European elections that led to all of this, their resounding victory, how much more popular they seem suddenly than the party of Emmanuel Macron. Of course, tonight is a huge disappointment to them. They had hoped to come out of this the biggest party in the National Assembly. But of course, what it tells us most about the result tonight is just how successful the strategy between the two rounds has been between the parties, whether it is the centrists or the far or the left-wing alliance, who had decided to call on their candidates to stand down where they'd come in third in those three-way races in the first round. So strategic voting was extremely important, and it worked. Since they won the day, both the left-wing alliance and the parties in the centrists, the first and second parties respectively, now in the French National Assembly, people were motivated. They went out and voted huge numbers to keep the far right out of power. But still, it emerges tonight a more formidable force in France's parliament than it was, Max.
Okay, Melissa, back with you a bit later on. We're going to speak now, though, to Cécile Aldi, a professor of French studies at Stanford University and a specialist on the far right as well. I just wanted to first of all ask you about the left, actually, because they are the story tonight, the way they managed to make a big comeback. Tell us about the left, because it's not as organised, let's say, as the right, but who are the people who are now in the majority? They don't have an absolute majority, but they're in number one position now, aren't they, in the parliament, if these projections play out?
Yeah, so four parties mostly have united in this new left-green coalition, and the challenge for them is going to see whether they're going to continue to be united in the days to come. They go from the Socialist Party of former President François Hollande all the way to an anti-capitalist party, so it's a wide coalition, and they managed to form this coalition in just 4 days following the dissolution of the National Assembly by Emmanuel Macron. They're coming top, and it's a huge surprise for French people for many reasons. They had been dragging and lagging behind in all former elections. And also they had put forward this idea that in any three-way election, they would come out from the race if they're third. And so they were about to lose a lot of seats. And in the end, it's the opposite that happened. So it's a huge victory and also a surprise. But as you said, they're not the majority, as in 50% of the assembly. So it's going to be really difficult for them to win.
Jordan Bardella of the far right party conceding he's not going to get a majority. He had actually expected one, hadn't he? Because he said, I'm only going to be prime minister if I get that majority. But as I was discussing with Melissa, he's probably going to look back on this as a big success because they've gained many more seats in parliament. And over time, over the years, they're only growing in strength. They're no longer an extreme party.
Yes, I mean, of course, 66% of voters, turned out in massive numbers to block the National Rally from becoming the new government. But yet the trend is for the far right to continue to rise, and none of the issues for which the voters voted for them have suddenly disappeared. So it's a bit of a weird success tonight for the left and even for Macron's party, because they have managed to block the rise of Jordan Bardella, but nothing else has changed in terms of who voters wanted to vote with and the issues on the table. If anything, France is going to be much more difficult to govern in the years to come because of the three-party system that we have now in parliament.
When you look at Europe, what do you read into what happened here? Because it was the big test, wasn't it, after the European parliamentary elections? Would that far-right vote translate into national elections? If France only had one vote, then it may well have done if we only had that vote last weekend. But because they had two votes, people were quite shocked by what happened and they came out and voted against it. So what do we read into the rise of the right in Europe and how that's going to translate into power?
Yes, so it's a great follow-up question. Indeed, people rallied around this Republican front against the far right in France nationally because of the two-round system. But the real picture of France is actually last Sunday, when the far right was the top party with 33% of the votes, which is a huge number for them. And as you mentioned, it's not the only country in Europe where it is the case. Italy is governed by a far right government, many other countries, the Netherlands. And so it's really a battle of titans at this point, with a very strong far right in the European Union, but also forces that are coalescing against it. So one almost wonder if the new division is not going to be between the far right populist parties and a huge coalition which would ally the center all the way to the left, where you have Europeanist forces, people who are in favor of the European Union, as opposed to the far right, which is trying to dismantle the European Union.
It does feel a bit as though, when you hear it listening to the left and right, that they can unify around the idea that they want to get rid of, Macron. They don't believe in the centre ground. They don't believe in, the establishment. And that's been very appealing to voters throughout this election campaign.
Yes, I mean, another way to see this vote is actually it's a vote against Macron. His party has lost, I think, almost 150 seats by his own volition because he decided of this new election. And so there are many ways to read this election, but 2/3 of the country voted against him. And so for a sitting president, it's almost unprecedented in France. And this is going to be really difficult to continue to govern with the same kind of politics. And this is why it's an unknown page of history that is going to unfold in the days to come. No one has ever been in this position in the Fifth Republic in France.